Hello and welcome, guys. Today we're going to be looking at the match between Jayyyred and Houdini, arguably two of the masters of Zelda on Age of Mythology. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump right in. So here we start with Jayyyred building 2 docks. We're gonna have Houdini in red building 3. Not a whole lot to commentate on early on except the initial strategy and looking at the differences between how they approach the game given their gods. So we have Nuva for Jayyyred and Poseidon for Houdini. So immediately we jump right into wood as expected. Where's the other? Okay, all 4 are here. Pretty even as expected so far. Jay has slightly more wood just because he had 2 dogs instead of 3. Be interesting to see what strategy each player would follow through with this game. I would expect Jay to want to age as fast as possible and spam out lancers to be able to kind of truck through Houdini's walls and buildings. We have the standard 1 minute 30 second mark for building the first TC. 3 villagers dedicated there, 4 here. So I'm thinking that Jay is going to commit to the speedy kind of heroic age, fast heroic age, to be able to spam out the lancers. Here and 9 here. I think Jay forgot to take out the fishing ships here. Or okay, looks like he fixed that. About the 2 minute 15 second or so mark, we're gonna have Jay is gonna immediately train 4 or 5 villagers. Let's go to Houdini's view. He's done 2. He's gonna train about 4. Let's go back to Jayyyred. 4 more, so we're about almost the 3 minute mark. Building a temple. As you can see, both players are very refined in terms of their timings and their build orders, and so there's no concern regarding timing for the 2 of these guys. They're going to be just fine. It's just a matter of what strategy do they execute and is that successful. I certainly don't expect them to take this to the long game, but that's certainly possible. Jay's gonna pop out 2 heroes here, because early on he's gonna be pretty defenseless in the first age. Let's see if Houdini's right. Looks like Houdini's aging up. We have the same number of ships, 21, and they should be stopping pretty soon until the next age. Okay, so we should be ready here to go. There you go. Okay, so we're going to the next age. He's gonna want to observe the time at which Houdini makes the second and third TCs, and of course to have line of sight in case he wants to sabotage the process. Houdini's gonna start scouting out Jay's spot. Running away from that hero. Okay, so Houdini's done with the aging process, and let's look at Jay. He's almost there. Slight advantage for Houdini. It's a very cool animation there. Let's see what's going on here. Both players are on their second TCs at about 5 minutes. Jay's gonna... That's a good place to use it. I mean, it doesn't do much anyways, and so to use that god power, that's a pretty appropriate place. The hero's gonna, of course, go after the Cyclops. Of course, the whole point is to slow the other player down. We have 10 villagers here working on that TC, and we're going to be working on our third TC by the 5.5 minute mark. Blue has a slight advantage here in terms of slowing down red. Just going to significantly cause a great differential between the different ecos. Very similar scores and very similar pace. Very slight differences as expected from these two players. Red's gonna start moving this way to see what he can do to slow down blue. Lots of Pegasi to scout out the place. Barracks is going up, or military academy is going up. The third TC is pretty slow on the red side, still doesn't have it ready, whereas blue is well on his way to the heroic age. He didn't go as quickly as I thought he would, although I think he's waiting for gold. We're at the 6.5 minute mark. We have 5 bills coming out here, and so red is going to the third age without the third TC. I suppose he's trying to focus on being aggressive here and take out blue as soon as possible, so he may not need that third TC. However, at 7 or 8 minutes, that's not necessarily a rush at that point. It's just depends on what he sees best to be able to counter blue's attack and take out his villagers. And okay, so we have a few hoplites and a myth unit. Still no third TC. Very similar scores. Gonna move on to some infantry here on the blue side, and red has launched his attack, early attack. We have 4 heroes to take out that Cyclops. Of course, red is gonna immediately go for those towers that are not advanced yet. Let's see what blue is doing. So he did age to the heroic age, but he has no military technically. He has only a few heroes. He does have the Jayyyred God power, but it would be too early to use that here. You can see red has a continuous flow of cute soldiers, and blue is just now beginning to counter. Now he uses the geyser, and now blue uses the Aphrodite god power to turn them into pigs. So that helped blue a little bit. Of course, we're not going to focus too much on this side because all the action is in blue's area. We have about just about 10 units here. See if so he's not aging just yet. He's gonna have to go full defense mode here and take care of these units. And of course we've used the pestilence god power here. Red has used it on blue, and that's going to be very difficult for blue to bounce back on that, although red pulls back. Let's see, he had about 20 units here, whereas if red attacked then, although he had no siege, he would have been in a good position. Although pestilences ran out of time, blue is bouncing back just fine, and red is going to start making siege. Let's go back here. So we're going to have a hero here for the salamanders. More buildings. Of course, blue is going to have a slight eco advantage, whereas red has the military advantage so far. Still no third TC. See who takes the next move and what they do. Still pushing out villagers. Let's see the upgrades. Okay, so the first upgrade there. Let's look at red's upgrades. Okay, so the basic heavy infantry upgrade. That's good. So red has gone to the mythic age, and he's gonna probably use the earthquake power. And there he goes. Uses it in a critical spot here and takes out a couple of population for blue. Placing those Pegasi all around really helps with god powers in the future age. We have a decent sized army here on the blue side. Now, looking at their upgrades, they're not very up to date in that regard. Let's look at Houdini's. Of course, the archers are not upgraded. Okay, so we have some armory upgrades now. Looks like we're going to be hovering around this area for a while until blue essentially gets it together and is able to push out, take out one of these TCs, and then he would have equalized at that point. Scores are very similar. Blue starts building the base back up again. Let's see if he's ready to age yet. So it looks like he doesn't have enough gold. If he started Lancer spamming just about now, that'd be very helpful. 10 or 20 or so would really start helping. As he guards him with the regular infantry, he could be really taking out these buildings, because there's not much, it's just a small cluster here. Of course the infantry is getting decimated on the blue side, and red is all upgraded, at least more upgrades than blue. Let's go back to Jay. Not much upgrades, but he is aging, so I believe that's gonna be what god power is he gonna use. Let's see. I don't play that god much, but we'll see what god power she has. Let's look at the microing here. So, oh, there you go. Of course, the Earth Dragon. Okay, so that's gonna buy him some time for about, I believe, a minute or 30 seconds. He's gonna need those Lancers very soon. Is he building anything? He has a bunch of units stuck here. Right, without those Lancers, it's just pretty much game over. Because of the pace at which red is moving and building the TCs outside, and okay, he has many more upgrades now. Need more of these castles to be able to upgrade to the last infantry upgrade. Not much else going on that is noteworthy, just mainly in this future battlefield. Let's see what's going on here. Population. Fortified town center is going to help his population by, let's see, 5 additional per TC, so about 15 more units. Okay, he's starting to push out now, but he has no Lancers. I'm kind of curious what the plan is here. So he has the White Tiger attacking the... Okay, he's pulling back. He could have scouted out a little bit more strategically there. Maybe used one unit or a mid unit or something like that. Okay, we're fully upgraded in terms of infantry. I believe, well, we still have the army upgrades, but he has the primary upgrades down from the barracks, the war academy. So let's see. He's going to start really building those castles and pushing forward. Defensive army thus far, and red is starting to position for an attack. So he's going to be having a lot of Heliopolis. And he's just going to overwhelm blue with the Heliopolis attack. It's already upgraded. Not yet. Okay, he's going to start pushing forward. Probably place that dragon down again near the infantry. That's what I suspect he's going to do, and buy him some more time. There you go. So dragon's going to be taking care of this side. Blue is going to focus on the Heliopolis. Almost done with that nearby castle. Looks like the micro is focused on taking out the myth unit. Right. Some anti-cav here. that buys him time and gives him some scouting room, and he's pulling back until he has some catapults and hopefully some lancers. Let's get up, let's move forward. Okay, so we're gonna start using the catapult against the Alepolis. Taking out this guy first, it seems like. Right, so pierce damage is not the best. Looks like he is using some anti-cav there to halberdiers to work on those Alepolis. You could use the dragon once more, probably around here, to take care of that side, because that's a dangerous side there. Taking out his infantry one by one. Okay, now it's getting pretty rough in terms of the onslaught of Alepolis and hoplites. You have the tiger jumping right in. The catapult's still working on those hoplite or Alepolis. Let's change the view here. Look at it this way. Okay, so working on primary targets, which are Alepolis. Let's see, we have what, 5 more. Those are the crucial units to take out immediately. And of course there we have the final spawning of the Earth Dragon, and he's going to take care of his units while Blue buys himself some time. So we have Lancers finally coming to the scene. We have 8 of them. They're not upgraded just yet. Well, maybe they are. I'm used to the kind of golden color. Okay, so working on those Alepolis. This looks like it might be a long game actually. So lots of anti-infantry. Just gonna slowly take out the buildings. Kind of pushing the envelope here from Blue's side, kind of slowly pushing forward, looking at the response and adjusting accordingly, and kind of preparing a solid attack. Just look at what's going on from this angle. Taking out the villagers there. Lots of archers working on those infantry. Let's go back to that view. Major defensive warrior from the blue side, just trying to stay alive as red kind of develops more and more of his military. Need some heroes here. I think he has a few. Let's go to Jayyyred's side. No heroes yet. Decent sized army though. Houdini's gonna need a decent cover to be able to push those hoplites through. He's gonna need to cover them up with all the anti-cav he can get and anti-archers. Looks like we're in a stalemate here, so I'm just gonna play fast for a while. You can see there's not much movement. I'll stop it here because he actually advanced. Slow it down here, I mean. So he's taking that out, pushing forward a bit, using that Lancers to work on the myth units, the chimeras. Pulls back, I'll play it fast once more. Gonna work on those Helepolis again, building some towers. Really utilizes these Lancers to maximally deter the enemy. Starting to lose advantage in terms of the defensive position here. He's gonna need to, right, so he's gonna have some war chariots to take out those Toxotes. Slide still back and forth. Let's go a little fast again. See what happens. We're gonna have red pushing from this side. Keep on playing. It looks like it's going to be a long match, and if anything noteworthy happens, I'll slow it down again. Lots of movement, lots of action around this general area. So there's some movement forward by blue at this point. He's going to try and build another castle there. Switches to just hunkering down and trying to defend the motherland there. Taking out those Helepolis as soon as possible. Looks like his eco, in terms of food, it's pretty weak, but and also he doesn't really want to have too many fishing ships because of his low population. Blue has the advantage now. If he moves forward in a unified manner to take out one of these TCs, he'll be in good shape. So he's gonna separate out, which I think is a pretty dangerous move here, considering how low of a population he already has. Probably doesn't have a scout there to see that red really doesn't have much of an army there. We're going to be working on the castle here to pump out more chariot archers and lancers. Red continuously pops out Helepolis, but he needs a better cover here, more cavalry here. Otherwise those lancers are really just going to continue to take take out the Gallipolis. It looks like this game is gonna last more than an hour actually, looking at the relative size of the time bar here. So that's about 30 minutes, and you can see it's gonna be a little over an hour or so. At some point here I'm gonna have to speed up the game, just because I don't want to have to upload a 6 or 7 gigabyte video file. See, so he's gonna build some walls here, and we're not gonna pay much attention here. He has a few troops to take care of some of the residual troops from Houdini's side, and so we're gonna just focus on the left side here. And actually I'm gonna play fast once more. Red slowly comes this way and tries to take out the wall. Slow it down again. Let's see where we're at. So blue has just enough troops here just to deter an attack there. Another castle. Let's speed up once more. Let's see what the overall trend is, rather than the noisy changes at a given time. So blue's gonna need to make more towers here. Brought the villagers back to life. The god power. That's a better strategy there, having seen troop distributions from red. I think having all your troops in and all your lancers on the right side would really be a good idea here. Just primarily taking out that TC and kind of conquering this area and then moving on with the rest of the map. That would be a perfect move, because being divided like this is not gonna help much. You can just hold back with some chariots holding back the Toxotes and a couple of anti-cav, or just for anything besides Pierce attack, working on those Gallipolis, and then sending all the lancers out here. That would really help. Of course, doing this slowly is gonna have red kind of bringing villagers out and thinking about doing something, but doing it rapidly with lancers would really be a much better strategy. So he has some villagers out here. Almost done with that TC. So red's gonna build back up there, while blue continually struggles to hold this line, although he's advancing slowly but surely. Let's play this fast from here on out, just due to the sheer size of the file. Let's look at the overall trends. Lots of micro actions and micro fights. Red is repelled back here as blue slowly moves forward to reclaim next to him. Just gonna use those lancers slowly here. Let's slow it down now. Of course, red cleverly places the towers there so that blue cannot build a TC there. Kind of access denial strategy there. In a stalemate up to this point also. Let's keep going faster. So blue is heavily focusing on the left side, trying to advance with all of these towers on the way. At the very least, neither player has this TC, so at least that kind of equalizes their comparative advantage. Continue to go fast, catch ourselves at important trends. Lots of microing going on there. He's just basically holding a line, so not much exciting stuff going on there. Here on the other hand, he's trying to push forward and kind of claim this area to himself, which is absolutely necessary if he's going to have any chance at winning this match. Of course, we have a ton of cavalry going here, and I'm not sure if he's gonna see that. Right, he sees it, but he has to pull back immediately. Let's go fast once more. Loses his catapults on a suicide mission there to take out the TC. Really needs to focus on taking out all these stables. Okay, so some more micro action that kind of takes a while. Let's see, anything significant. We have a hero there, they're gonna attack the walls. Redistribution of troops on the blue side. Starting to take out the stables there, cleaning out the area while it's walled off, which is a very good idea. Because he knows there's going to be a few cavalry coming this way, so as red kind of focuses with the bulk of his troops on this side to protect his primary side, so he knows that he can just kind of use towers to take care of the remaining troops, the Poseidon's special troops here, the militia. So he's going to take care of that. So let's continue to play fast, see if any significant developments happen. So he's going to pull back a little bit, more militia to worry about, gaining some ground on that side. He might lose this side if he doesn't plan accordingly. Let's play fast once more. Let's look at the trends. Still holding the line here. It's very close. It's a close call on this side. He's going to lose that building pretty soon. He starts to work on that TC. He's going to have resistance immediately from a hero as well as towers and castles. Blue could very well lose it all in an instant if pressure builds up significantly on this side. So let's see. TC's working out well for him. He just needs to take out that castle and this one as well. really needs to focus on siege here as he reinforces them with troops. Lancers are doing pretty well on this side. Of course, he loses the TC. He's holding the line there, so I'm gonna speed up once more and focus on the top side here. Blue is reinforcing as he moves forward. By no means a regular Zelda match. I mean, it's a very long, extended one because we have two very good players and neither one's gonna give up. So it's gonna be a tough matchup. So Red is starting to distribute himself kind of accordingly based on troop distribution. So on this side, he's starting to focus much more on castles and towers. Gonna lose this side if he doesn't kind of square up on this side and kind of build a wall again. This is of course a crucial moment for Blue because really this area determines the course of the game, and if he's able to clean this area out, he's gonna at least have a fair fighting chance. Taking out that fortress and focusing on these cavalry. Very useful guard towers up here. Looks like he's regained his control on this side, on the defensive side. Of course, there's no wall here, so he's gonna really have to keep a constant eye on this side. Towers on the red side are going to be very problematic. Let's play it fast once more. Let's look at the trend, who's kind of taking this side. So red's going to be regaining this side. Kind of losing this side, blue is. Gonna start working on that settlement again, and red is really not gonna allow that. You can see he is shifting everything to the TC side, and he takes it out. Well, he almost took it out. Wow, this is getting very interesting. So on one side he's kind of supporting this TC, but on the other he's getting attacked constantly. He's gonna need more villagers as he's doing so. 3 catapults on this side. Looks like he's finally pushing aggressively on that side. Fast. Uh-oh, getting close on this side. Just gonna work on those fortresses. And red ramps up the pressure on this side with cavalry. This could be blue's pinnacle at this point. Still needs that TC. He's at a disadvantage in terms of population. Losing that side. Let's fast forward and see how blue bounces back from this. Gonna build more walls. Try to reinforce as best as he can once more. Also push on the left side. Red has built significantly many more buildings there. That's going to be very tough for blue at this point to bounce back from this. He's going to need to give it his all. Lots of gold from trade on red side, but blue has more gold currently. Speed it up once more. Okay, he's repelled the enemy on the left side. More castles. Slow advance forward. Still holding that line for the Helepolis. He needs a significant distribution of troops on this side. Doing pretty well on this side, just defensively holding the line and reinforcing very well on the east side. At the very least, just denying that TC to each other, and that's better than one way around. You have to excuse me as I take this message. So pushing forward on this side and holding the line pretty well, although that could change very soon. Let's go ahead and speed her up once more. Okay, cleaning up this side pretty decently. holding the line. Okay, he finally gets a TC. Now he has to defend it to the death and take out that fortress. Let's see where this ends up. Speeding up. The line is starting to fall short. But blue is pretty aggressive on this side. We're at that 1 hour mark, but of course for the video it's going to be slightly shorter because we sped it up, thankfully. So blue is really trying to save this TC. Lots of cavalry here attacking, and of course they're going to win due to the sheer rush attack, or let's see, what would be hack attack, but I would think it would be crush damage. Okay, so red is kind of getting more aggressive again on this side. Very difficult to keep these grounds. It's a war zone out there. It's very difficult to maintain a certain status. As we're approaching the end of the game, and let's see. The guess is that blue's gonna quit, but let's see why. It's probably because of his TC. Seeing that there's no hope to maintain his TC. Very, very tight situation for blue. He has no room to maneuver practically, and it's kind of all or nothing on this side of the map, and clearly he can't just do that because of these fortresses. It is now extremely difficult for him to do anything. He's not going to be able to maintain a wall here, and his red is advancing on both sides essentially. And so at this point I believe blue realizes that it is all over for him. He's gonna try a little bit more. These fortresses really changed the game here for red. So, okay. Game has ended. So get the timeline. Very interesting here. Looks like a RC circuit signal kind of, or some sort of a saturation here as they went back and forth and held each other back from certain advances. Military, blue had the advantage. It's a very interesting system response going on here. Looks like blue's also really just running out of resources at the end. Okay, well, thank you for watching this with me, and I'll see you in the next future matches.